So much for being here. It's a great day to have you. Let's just kind of start from the top down. You invest in energy infrastructure, renewable assets, energy private equity, upstream, midstream, downstream. So we hear time and time again that the culprit of what's going on is directly related to a lack of investment over the last decade or so. Why do you think that is? Do you think that is truly the case? And is there a will and the capital out there to reverse this and solve that crisis?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we have been underinvested and continue to be underinvested. I mean, I think when you have no less than Elon Musk saying we need to be using, all means at our disposal, oil and gas included, it's really not an or, it's an and. So over the last 10 years, we've definitely seen underinvestment, and that came partly because of capital allocation dynamics. And at this point, you're seeing fewer permits granted. You're seeing energy companies be very judicious with their capital. So I don't think this is about to end anytime soon. And we're going to need a sea change in terms of the political environment to really make the change. And, I guess good news for investors is from a U.S. perspective, I think that makes us very bullish on U.S. energy because to some extent we're going to succeed in spite of ourselves because we are blessed with an incredible amount of natural resources here in the U.S. and the world needs those natural resources.
What about the actual capital available? There's the political will, as you mentioned, with regard to permits and so forth. But there's also the typical limited partners that would go into funds such as yours, pension funds, endowments. They've been shying away from these assets in recent years due to pressure from their constituents. There was Preqin data that found that PE firms raised just $3 billion across oil and gas-focused funds in the U.S. in the first half of the year, 40% less than just the same period last year. So is there capital that can actually go into some of these projects to reverse the underinvestment that we've seen?
Well, there's certainly capital out there. You bring up a great point. We're talking about energy transition, and I think if not all of us, the vast majority of us agree that that needs to take place. We've got a climate change issue. Transition needs to take place. The question mark is really over what time period can that transition reasonably take place? We've got companies today in traditional oil and gas trading at 3 times earnings with 40% free cash flow with virtually no debt. So I think ultimately the capitalist system wins out and you find pockets of capital that actually want to invest in these companies. I also think that pension plans and others over time will take a more reasoned approach to the and, not the or, and that energy transition does need to take place, but the time frame over which we can reasonably do that has to be realistic. So short answer, yes, I think there is capital out there. I think the returns are too compelling to ignore. And I think at the end of the day, pension plans and others are representing their constituents' money. And if it's a good place to go, it will go there.
Alex, David, I wonder, did the Inflation Reduction Act change any of your views in terms of how you're actually going to allocate capital, or will it result in perhaps you taking a look at things you might not otherwise have?
No, David, great question. We're really playing across, the full spectrum of the energy sector. So as Leslie mentioned at the beginning, ENP, infrastructure, renewables, and we think there are opportunities in each and a transition has to take place. I think the Inflation Reduction Act does provide some incentives on the renewable side. It doesn't change anything that we were already doing. It enhances returns on some renewables dynamics. I don't think it changes anything with respect to traditional fossil fuels or how we will be allocating capital.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.